Alright guys, we are back with another week of online learning here. This week we're going to be talking about Python. So the previous weeks in school we were talking about HTML and how to build websites. This week is going to be talking about Python, and it's a little bit different. It's a programming language versus HTML. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to the website Replit. It's up here if you need to look at it. And you're going to go to the corner and log in. You should be able to log in easily because you've been doing it through class. If you can't, if you really can't log in, hit sign up again and go through those steps to sign up, and then you're going to log into the account. When you get in here, you're going to make a new REPL in the upper right hand corner here. It's the big blue button. And you're going to search for Python if it's not the top one already. You're not going to use Python with Turtle or Python 2.7. You're just going to use regular Python here. And you can name it variables. And you're going to create the REPL. And I already have a name like that, so I'm just going to name mine variables too. So when you get into Python, it's going to look very similar to HTML. You're going to have the left side for code. The right side is the screen where the stuff happens, your program in this case. So it's not going to be a website on the right hand side now. Now it's going to just be a program. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start with the basics of Python, and the first thing we're going to talk about is variables. So when you think of a variable, I just want you to think of it like a container of something. So it holds some information, and it can hold a number, it can hold a sentence, it can hold a letter, it can hold whatever we want. So we're going to make three variables. So I'm going to name one my name. I'm going to hit enter, and you're going to do the same, so you're going to follow along with me. So my name, my age, and then my grade. So I have given the variables names, and they're all on separate lines. We call this declaring a variable. They need to be on separate lines. So I have my name, my age, my grade, and notice when I put spaces here, I usually make them underscores. You're not going to put any spaces in a variable. You would never write my space and then age. It would be my underscore age. So right now I have three variables, my name, my age, and my grade. Now, to put things inside of them, we need to tell Python what is inside, and we do that by just putting an equal sign, a space, and then an equal sign. So I'm going to do a space and an equal sign for all three of these. And then you can quite literally read it almost like a math problem. My name equals, my age equals, my grade equals. Okay? Now, when we're creating variables, there's one of two ways of doing this. We can put a number in, or we can put a sentence or words in. Now, if you put a number in, so for my age right now, I'm going to put a space after, and let's just put our age, right? So if I'm putting a number in, I don't need to do anything special. I can just write my age equals 10. So now you've made a variable named my age, and you've set it equal to 10. Okay, that's very easy. My name, however, when you write your name, you can't just write text in here. You can't just write, if I wrote Mr. Cooper right there, I can't just write that. You need to surround all your text in quotes, okay? We call this a string in Python. It just means a bunch of text. That's what a string means. So, my name, I'm writing that in quotes because it's not just numbers. If it's anything but numbers, if it's a letter or even a number and a letter, it needs to be in quotes because then it's considered a string, we call it. So my grade. So if I'm writing 5th grade here, I have 5 and TH. I want you to think about how you would write that. Would you put quotes around it or would you not? And the answer is that you would put quotes around it because I wrote 5th. Not 5, but 5th. So now I have three pieces of information here. I have three variables, my name, and inside my name, I wrote Mr. Cooper. You're going to write your own name. Inside my age, I wrote an age, and that's a number, so it's not a string, it's a number, we call it an integer. And then inside of my grade, I wrote 5th. So again, the left side of the equal sign is the names, the right side is what's in the variables, what's in that container. So if it helps you, you can imagine some sort of container, a basket with the label my name on it, and then inside, maybe we have something that says Mr. Cooper in it. So if I hit run here, you're going to notice that nothing happens. The only thing we've done on this program is tell the program, hey, I made a variable. Now, let's hit enter, and now let's do some cool stuff with the variables. So, for instance, let me show you what we can do. We can do another command in Python, and again, notice everything is to the left. We're not putting any spaces or anything. Those come later. It's not like HTML where you need spaces like that. So let's type print and do parentheses, okay? Now, in the print, we call this a print function. It's just going to display text over here, whatever we want. So if I print, and again, any words you write in Python need to be in quotes. So let me print something. Let's say my name is, let's say my name is for now. Okay, so now when I hit run, make sure you have that. So print my name is, and it did it. Okay, now it did it, and you have to have those quotes. So let's say I want to make a program that fills in the information using the variable. So my name is, and then I want it to say Mr. Cooper. So my name is, and outside of the quotes, you're going to do a space and then a plus sign and another space. And you're just going to write your variable name now. So my underscore name. Okay, so take a look at how that looks. So I have quotes, so my name is, and then plus my name. Now you don't need quotes around a variable because Python is smart enough to recognize that variable name. So if I hit run now, it's going to substitute in the variable, whatever's inside your variable right there, inside your story. So notice I have my name is Mr. Cooper. Now you're going to notice there's not a space after my name is and Mr. Cooper. To fix that, you just have to put a space after is there. You have to put it after the last quote. So if I hit run now, it's going to put a space, my name is Mr. Cooper. Now we can continue our story here. So if I wanted to write a period after my name, I would just put it in quotes. So I would do a quote period. And if I hit run, you're going to see it do that. And before you do that, you have to do a plus as well. So you always have to, you kind of like adding, you always have to put pluses between a variable name and a quote. So my name is Mr. Cooper. Let's do the second line. Let's put our age in here. So again, I'm going outside the quotes, putting a plus, and saying, in quotes, I am, let's keep it at I am, and let's do a plus with the my age variable, and then a plus, and then years old. And let's see what happens. And again, remember, you might need a space between the between the I am and my age and years old. Let's see if I hit run. And when you do my age, you're going to see I came up with an error. That's because my age is just a number, and Python has a weird time printing that out. So for this, you need to put the following, str in parentheses around my age, and that just tells Python to print the number out as a string, as a piece of text versus a number. So if I hit run here, that's going to fix that. So this says my name is Mr. Cooper, I am 10 years old. So a couple things, I still don't have a space between the period and the I, so I'm going to go to my text here and put a space in. And then I also need to put a space between 10 years old, so after that, I put a space, years old. So my name is Mr. Cooper, I'm 10 years old. Finally, let's put in the sentence that tells us what grade you're in. So pause the video, you try to write the last sentence, and then unpause it, and I will show you how to do it. So the way we're going to do the last sentence is we are going to do another plus sign, and then we're going to do something along the lines of, in quotes, I am in the, and then we'll go outside, do a plus sign, type the variable. So this is going to be saying, if we read it with the variable, I am in the 5th, and then plus sign, quotes, grade, the period. So my name is Mr. Cooper, I am 10 years old, I am in the 5th grade. Now again, the weird spacing issues, right? So I'm going to put a space after the I am, and I'm going to put a space after grade, and hit run. So it's all spaced out properly. Now, the smart thing about Python is that if I change any of these variables, it's going to change essentially what's in my story right here. So if my name is Jeff, my age is 9, or let's do 8, and I'm in the 4th grade, when I rerun my program, you're going to notice that my entire story has changed. Now, if I wanted to add more on here, I could. I would simply just add a new variable. Let's say we want to add on, I don't know, my hobby, right? My hobby equals, and you might have a hobby, maybe it's sports. Okay? So, because I've added a new variable, I can simply just add it on the end. So, my hobby is space, a plus sign, and then my hobby. And if I wanted to add a period at the end, I would put it in quotes there. And I keep forgetting that plus at the end. There we go. And again, I forgot the space, so you need to put the space in there. So that's the general idea. Programming languages work off of variables, just containers that hold pieces of information. I know this is a new concept, so if you're feeling confused, please comment in the classroom for help. Just try this as best you can. Some common errors. If I were to forget a quote up here in my variable name, and it kind of tells you where your error is. It says line 1, and it even points to where the error is. I forgot to put a quote, the end quote there. Remember, if you open a quote, you have to close a quote. Another common error is, let's say I have the my name variable. If I make a typo in there and hit run, it's not going to work. It's going to say, whatever you wrote is not defined. It just means that you didn't match up the names with up here and down there. Okay? So variable names all have to match for it to run. Quotes have to be in there. Another common one, if you forget a plus sign in here, in between each variable and string, you're going to see that it's just not going to work either. So don't forget plus signs and quotes in the strings. So try your best. If you have trouble, that's okay. The next week's work is going to be review. Okay?